In this session, we're going to talk about Google Classroom, Stream, and Classwork. I'm going to move you over now into my demo class so you can see what this would look like. So when I land in Google Classroom, I land in the Stream section, and both students and teachers, whenever they open up a class in Google Classroom, they come to the Stream section. So this is kind of like your landing page. And any announcements or communication that's going to go out to your classroom will happen in the stream. So if I have opened up, and I'm going to cancel this so you can see, it says share something with your class. So what I would do is I would click on share with the class, and then now I can select what I'm going to share. So I'm just going to put in welcome. And then I might, at this point, add this same announcement to other classes. So I can go in here and I can select the classes that I would want to do this. Imagine I was teaching middle school or high school and I have multiple periods of the same course. Then I would select those, and this announcement would drop into all of them. If I wanted separate announcements for each class and I wanted to go in, I can do that too. So I'm just going to use my demo class for now. I can also select different groups of students. Right now I don't have multiple students in here, but I can select all, or if I had a whole group of students listed down below, I could select 3 or 4 students to send them a specific announcement in their stream. So that's how the for section works, is what classes do you want to send this announcement to, and which students, all or just some of them. Now below I put in share with your class, and I put in just a welcome note. And now I can add, if I want to, from there, something from my Google Drive. Maybe it's a flyer that announces, the science fair is happening, or it's a quick, please, if you're interested in signing up for whatever it might be, fill out this Google Doc and put your name in here so that I know those people that are interested. I can put a link in here. I can put a file from my computer, and I can put a link from YouTube or an actual embed from YouTube into this section as well. So these are my options of what I can add to each of these announcements. I'm going to model right now just the idea of showing you guys what this looks like. What if I wanted to go into find something in my Google Drive? So I could find something that would be recent. I can also upload in here from my computer. Okay, so I can go into my device and I can start looking through my files on my computer, or I can go into my drive itself and choose, select through different folders and try to find what I'm looking for. The idea would be is that your Google Drive is organized to where you have, you know where things are in different folders to be able to bring into your Google Classroom. Now, once I decide that if I wanted to add something, I'm not going to in this case. Once I decide I'm ready to kind of post, I can go over here, and this little drop down gives me an option for either posting, scheduling, or saving this as a draft. So what does it mean to schedule? What that means is I can select the day and the time I want this post to go out to my students. So let's just say that I'm working on Thursday, but I don't want this announcement actually to go out until next Monday. I can schedule that for 7 a.m. the following Monday if I wanted to. I can also save this as a draft. So I'm going to model that really quickly. I'm going to click on save as a draft, and what happens is up here it says saved announcements. So it's not scheduled, it's not posted, it's just something that I've been working on. And then I can open that up, and then I can click on the draft, and I can re-edit. I can go back in and edit it again. I can add something at this point and then post it. Okay, so once I post, it's asking me, students will see this in their streams. Yes. So I click on that, and then it goes into the stream. One thing with the stream that I want to talk about is that there are some different settings in here. The stream is a place where you want to have announcements and communicate. So the difficulty could be is if you have 30-some students in the class and they're all open to being able to put their own comments in here, that whatever was important could get dragged far down. Well, if something like that happens, and that's how the stream is operating, you can always go to these three little dots right here, and you can potentially, and I don't have any other posts, move it to the top. So if it gets dropped down to the like 10 announcements down or 10 comments down from students, you can move it back up to the top so it becomes more prominent in the stream. With that said, I was talking about students. If you go up to the gear on here, you can fill out your class details, but what's really important is in the general section here is that it says stream. And it allows you to change the setting. Right now, students can post and comment. Well, what if I only want them to comment on the things that I post, or I want to keep them out of the stream totally? So only teachers can post and comment. These are different settings you'll have to play around with depending on your student group and your norms of how you're operating in Google Classroom with your students. One of the things I want to make sure that we know in San Diego Unified is that students don't have email. So this is the place to communicate. So you probably want to leave open for now an opportunity for students where students can only comment, okay? Another thing that could bunch up your stream is when you put things into Classwork, do you also want those notifications going into the stream? So you can decide as you start playing around with the Google Classroom and adding things in, do the assignments that you post in Classwork, do they get too busy or unorganized in your stream, or does it fill up your stream too much? And do you want to hide those notifications? So those are just a couple things to think about. I'm going to save the settings right now. I'm going to go back into our stream and just show you one more thing, like a YouTube video, posting in a YouTube video. So I'm going to post in this YouTube video right now, and I'm going to leave it again for just this class. I could select multiple classes. I'm going to leave it for all students. If I had 20 some students in here, then I could turn this off and select individual students. And I'm going to click down here to add and then a YouTube video. Well, I already have one sitting over here in YouTube, and it's how to create a new class in Google Classroom. So I'm going to link that one in, copy my link for the YouTube video, and I bring it back over here into my Google Classroom. I copy and paste the link into that section. I search, and there's the video that I want to put in. And it goes right here into the Classroom post. And I say, please create your GC Google Classroom using this video. And then I can post that in now. So that's the stream. That's how you would operate in the stream. Those are the options you have for posting. I'm going to move over here now to the Classwork section. So in Classwork, we're having the opportunity now to post assignments. This is where you post assignments. The stream itself is really announcements and communication. The Classwork is where you would post things either ungraded or graded, but this is where the work is happening. So in here, what you can do is you can begin creating assignments, quizzes, questions. That's kind of like a discussion. Material would be something like a syllabus or links to a specific resource that you use over and over again. Reuse post, I'll go over that in a little more detail, but basically you can take from items that you've posted in other classrooms before and repost them here so that you're not having to redo work all the time. And then down below is a topic. This is really to keep yourself organized and to section out the different types of classwork that students will be doing. So I'm going to start with topic right here. And I'm going to put in my first topic is going to be resources. And then I'm going to add another topic, which is going to be the assignments. I might call it something different, like a unit or something like that. And if I was in a certain unit in the course, I would call it a certain unit possibly, or a project. So it just depends what you're doing it. For now, I'm just calling it assignments and resources. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an assignment. In the assignment section, I'm going to put quick write. And I have to put some instructions. Please complete. I would put more detailed instructions, of course, normally, unless I already had them on the document. And then I'm going to add in here from my Google Drive. I'm going to go find it in my demo docs here that I want to put this quick write in there. And so I've taken from my Google Drive and put a Google Doc in here. And I want students to have their own document and complete this on their own. So over here where it says students can view file, I don't want them just be able to view that. I want them to be able to work on that document. So what I'm going to do is go down here to where it says make a copy for each student. And what that basically does is it's like me going to the copy machine, running off a bunch of copies for each of my students. So now it's going to create a separate document for each one of them that's going to go into their Google Classroom, and it is populating their Google Drive for them. So each individual student has their own quick write document. So I do that. And then what I'm going to do at that point is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, hey, I'd like that to go into whatever other classes that I want it to go into. And then for which students? In this case, I want all of my students to get a copy of this. I can assign it points. I'm just going to make it ungraded, but I could assign it for points. And then it says no due date. I can make a due date if I want to. So let's just say that I want it due on April 17th. And I can put an optional time. So I could put a time like 3 o'clock. So by the end of the school day or something like that. No topic. Yes, I want to put it under assignments. And down here, I could attach a rubric. There's no rubric related to this assignment. And down here, it says originality reports. That's more like if students were writing an essay or a research paper, and it actually does, Google does a search to see if if there's anything else similar to what your students are turning in. So that it's like a plagiarism tool, more or less, just to make sure that they're not being academically dishonest. So this is my assignment. Again, I put the title in, the instructions. I added a Google Doc. I made a copy for each student. I made it ungraded. I assigned it to whatever classes I wanted to go to. I put in the due date. And now, again, I can over here schedule that, save it as a draft, or I can assign it right now. So I'm going to schedule this one to go out. And I'm going to put the schedule as tomorrow at 8 a.m. and I schedule it so we can see what that looks like. So now on my Classwork page, you can see where it says quick write, and it says April 10th, 8 a.m. That's when it will release. And then at 8 a.m., it goes out to the students, and then they can see this quick write assignment at that point. Okay, so that's the first one under create assignment. We can also, in assignments, we can, if we wanted to on the fly, create a Google Doc, slide, sheets, drawings, forms. We can do this on the fly. So if I wanted my students to create a map in, a sketch in Google Drawings, I can select that and it would automatically populate. I don't have to be in my drive and select something from my drive. I can create that right here. The next option in your classwork down here is quiz assignment. And so if I select that one, what it's going to do is it's automatically going to create a Google form and turn it into a quiz. So again, I would put in the title, the instructions, and on here, I can look at this blank quiz and start to create my quiz if I want to from this Google form. So again, it automatically turns a Google form into a quiz. Just so you know, that's different than it being a Google form. A quiz and a form are two different things. They are the same thing, but you have to turn on the quiz feature for it to be a quiz. And what that means is that you can have an answer key and have it self-grading. So you can set up the quiz to be, once the students hit submit, it creates the answer key creates the score for the students at that point as soon as they hit submit. So that's, again, and that's a whole nother instruction of how to create a quiz, but in Google Forms, in Google Classroom, it does turn a Google form into a quiz automatically using that feature of right here, quiz assignment, okay? Under question is a discussion question. So if I put in here, reflect on, and then ... whatever it is, I can turn that into a short answer question. I could, if I wanted to, ask students, how are you feeling about, whatever the problem of the day? And then I could put multiple choice if I wanted to, and ask them, are you feeling great? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling, whatever it is, whatever my norms are in the classroom for how we communicate around how they're feeling in their success academically. I would put that into a multiple choice quiz, and then I could get the quick responses from them there. You'd add instructions, you might add a resource or something like that, but the question is all about it being potentially a discussion. And I love this for threaded discussions. You can see over here it says students can reply to each other. So once they finish doing the quiz question, not the quiz, the question, basically it's a discussion. Once they pop their answer into the discussion, they can then see other students and respond to them. So this is one of my favorite features in Google Classroom is that students can have a threaded discussion. So I post that in there and I ask that question, and then it goes right now, oh, I forgot to put it under a topic. So I'm going to move this, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to edit, and I'm going to put it under a specific topic like assignments, and hit save. So now I have two assignments. I have the quick write and I have the reflect on question right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some material. So let's just say that I wanted to put my website on here. And I add in a link. I can go over here to my website. Oops. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to pull it back over here into Classroom, link it, add the link, and then I'm going to post that under resources. So now what we'll see is at the bottom down here, students can go right to anytime, right to the website to find more information about whatever it is about the class. Reuse posts. So that's our last one down here under Classwork. Reuse post means I can go and find something I've already posted into Classroom before, or from a teacher that's sharing their classroom, like I'm a co-teacher with them on their classroom. So if I click on reuse post, I can go into, let's just say, the leaders of innovation. I can find the reflection form for that day, and then I can reuse that post if I want to. And it's going to pull it into my class now as a Google form, reflection, and then I can select the classes that it goes to, if it's graded or not, the topic that it goes under, and then I'm just going to save this as a draft, and then it goes in here as an assignment that's a draft, you can see here. But that, again, reuse post means I can go into any of my other classes that I have access to, go back and find that one post that I really want to reuse. So if I go over here to history and I say, oh, I really wanted to do that vocabulary template or the Rebels with a Cause slideshow, I can go and find that and reuse it and then edit it however I want to, but I'm not having to create things from scratch every single time I'm in my classwork section trying to create assignments. I can reuse posts. And that's a great thing about potentially being a co-teacher with someone. Okay, I'm going to go back over this again. We created an assignment, and that's the beauty of that one, is that you can make copies and push out copies of individual assignments for every single student. You can assign a quiz assignment, so that turns a Google form automatically into a quiz assignment. A question is a discussion. Material is more or less resources and things that students will need to access. Reuse post is when you can use something that was previously posted in this classroom or any other classroom that you have access to and edit that. And the topic is just kind of organizing what you put into your classwork. All right, I'm going to end there. Again, we went through Stream and Classwork as our sections of Google Classroom in this segment, and we're going to be moving on to potentially other sections. But for now, hopefully you are rolling with what you can do with Stream and your announcements, and what you can do with Classwork and your assignments. Good luck, everyone.